Hi, friend. I'm Lougallagher.
And I'm Corvette.ronnie. Hey, what do you do when you're stuck on a plane next to somebody who stinks?
Ooh, yuck. That's next on Men Are So Smart. Recently, passengers traveling from Manchester to Ibiza were treated to some unwelcome in-flight entertainment last week when two passengers decided to have sex, or at least simulate it, in their seat. Though that escapade is an extreme example, the incident is one of many potential horrors we can be exposed to while traveling. Complaints about airline service jumped 70% between March and April, according to a recent report. Lost baggage and canceled flights are all major gripes for consumers, but another top anxiety is who we are forced to share these experiences with. That's close quarters in a plane.
Oh boy, that's like a test tube.
Yeah.
Many travelers say their biggest anxiety about flying is a person they're sitting next to. A study from airfarewatchdog.com found this week, including sitting next to someone who is coughing, has an unpleasant body odor, or is overweight. The problems are so invasive that 40% of respondents said they would pay extra to have an entire row of the plane all to themselves.
They do not make plane seats for people my size.
No.
And if I'm on a plane longer than 2 hours, I got problems.
Yeah.
Travelers have a number of options to address these issues, depending on who they are seated next to and what the offense is. The first solution is simple. Just ask. If the problem is behavioral, the best thing to do is address it directly with a passenger. Ask them nicely not to talk to you. Tell them, I'm busy. I'm very busy. Or kindly ask them to keep their child from hitting the back of your damn seat. Those things can easily be addressed.
Sometimes the opposite happens, though. When you ask somebody, the kicking gets a little bit more extreme.
Yeah, they start encouraging it.
Yeah.
The parents.
So, Jacqueline Whitmore, a former flight attendant and etiquette expert, said, if a problem can't be resolved verbally, passengers are within their rights to ask a flight attendant to move them once the plane's doors are closed, as long as they aren't requesting to switch to a more expensive seat. I would do this directly as not to offend your seatmate, she said.
Now, if a passenger smells bad, they can actually be removed from the plane as long as it isn't related to a disability. Drunk or unruly passengers like Ron, like the lovely couple on the flight to Ibiza, can also be removed under most airline policies. Delta Airlines states in its rules, it can remove customers who pose unreasonable risk of offense or annoyance to other passengers. For example, such removals are left to the discretion of flight attendants, and ultimately, this is your captain speaking.
That's right. Yep, he's got the last say. If the flight is full, your chances of moving are notably smaller, and you may have to make the best of it, said Elaine Swan, an etiquette expert and former flight attendant. She suggested bringing cologne or perfume in case you sit next to a passenger who smells bad.
Wait. Do you know what happens when you spray cologne on a fat, sweaty person? Do you know what they smell like?
The mixture is...
A fat, sweaty person with cologne on.
Yeah, it starts to smell a little bit like pepper spray. Yeah. So you have to figure out how you can get to your happy place, she said. For the nearly 14% of people who dread sitting next to an overweight passenger, should be known that passengers of size, air quotes, don't enjoy the experience either.
Yeah.
As seats on planes shrink, these issues are becoming more contentious, and some airlines even require overweight passengers to purchase a second seat. Passengers have sued the airlines over being stuck next to an overweight seatmate, and others have successfully requested refunds on their trips. If you feel your flight was ruined by your seatmate for whatever reason, it's worth asking for a refund or a voucher. However, airlines aren't required to give them. Peggy Howell, spokesman for the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance.
I'm the CEO of that.
Wow. She said overweight passengers are likely far more anxious than their seatmates about flying, and the organization has released a tip sheet for traveling while fat.
Say that again. A tip sheet?
For traveling while fat. So in her view, the blame rests with the airlines for making seats increasingly small to save money.
So
I agree with that part.
Yeah, I would say that I'm probably at the point where I could use 2 seats. Now, I'm not 6'10". I'm 6'3", about 250 pounds. Those seats, you barely could get your butt in there.
I've got kind of wide shoulders, and I always find myself using both armrests up.
Yeah.
There's just no way around it. And if you're sitting next to another wide-shouldered man, there's going to be a struggle there. So this goes on to say that if you're under 5 foot 6 inches tall and weigh under 120 pounds, you might fit comfortably. But since we're told that at least 60% of our population is overweight or obese, that doesn't seem to make much sense. Why would you not want to accommodate the major portion of the customer base out there? Or is this just another privilege that will soon be available only to the wealthiest among us?
Now, we've been here for about the last 2 hours, and we're sitting next to one another outside of our normal man cave. And we have not had one fight for the armrest here.
And you see I'm all over your armrest.
You are. What the hell are you doing?
I'm all over it.
I'm meaning to talk to you about
I'm
this.
all up in that
I'm not
armrest.
gonna. Don't be all up in that. Look, I'm gonna ask you one time to move it.
You know, but a great thing to do is when they're loading, and we usually have like earlier loading numbers, so we're on the plane first. And if somebody is coming up to you, try to look sick and
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
blow your nose.
Ugh.
And then if some 5'2", 100-pound girl is walking down the thing, sit up nice and straight, look small, and yeah, there's your seatmate. That's the one you want.
You know, that just reminded me of a story. A couple of years back, I flew to Nashville for business. I was there for about 3 days. And on the way back, I just happened to get seated next to this young lady. And she couldn't have been more than about 27 or 28, I guess. And it was one of those things where I was like, wow, how lucky is this? She's going to sit next to me of all the people on the plane. Do you know, we struck up a conversation that lasted the whole 5-hour flight. She was the sweetest girl, and she worked for the same company that I did, but in the Midwest. And that's the one time I actually had a seatmate that I enjoyed.
Yeah, doesn't happen very
Most
often.
of the time, you just want to tell the person, look, if you ask me one more freaking time about the weather, I swear I'm going to come out of this seatbelt.
Kind of tired. I just like to sleep. So.
And I'm going to hit you so hard that no smoking. I'm going to hit you so hard that no smoking sign comes on.
Yes, it's good to travel in numbers that take up the whole row of seats.
Yeah.
Just one less thing to worry about. Even if my son stinks, I'll take his stank over a stranger's stank.
All right, so we've established that there's family stank and stranger stank. And I think we've learned a lot in this episode. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
We just talk about stuff that guys want to know about.
We have this vast amount of information.
We're trying to get it to
We
you.
just want to share.
60 episodes already.
Yeah.
All right, if you enjoyed the show, you'll find links right down below here in our description. You'll find all of our links to our social media, including our blogs. Ronnie, you just wrote a blog last night. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Yay or nay?
I spent about $50 on fireworks for my grandson, and he cried at every single one of them. and we did it at 10 minutes after 7. It wasn't even dark.
What about Smokey Joe? Do you like Smokey Joe?
Even Smokey Joe is too noisy for him.
And they're disappointing.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're
for sure.
disappointing.
Are those like those worms? Remember those worms?
Yeah, the black worms.
All right, we're off topic here. All right, so you'll find all the information down here below. Get a hold of us. Feel free to comment. If you enjoyed, please subscribe to our channel. There's a button that's going to come up shortly right above my shoulder where you can click and subscribe to our channel. I'm Lougallagher.
Corvette.ronnie.
And this has been Men Are So Smart and Don't Stink.